Alright, today we're talking about sleeping pads. And my original sleeping pad was your standard Thermarest. It was an extra long, extra wide. It was probably the inch and a half version of thickness. I liked that one. It was easily inflatable, easy to deflate, really quick. The thing I didn't like about it, didn't pack away very small. So it's kind of a pain in the butt to transport. You know, you can make it work with a backpack or Duluth pack or something like that, but it was a little bit of a pain in the butt. But it lasted forever. It was also, you know, very durable. I had that for, I don't know, many years, probably at least 15 years, and it finally wore out. Got some pinholes in it that couldn't be patched up. There's too many of them. Just kind of wore out. The valve had to be repaired a couple of times, but finally just kind of ran its course. So I purchased another one, and they came out with, it wasn't this model, but it was these big Agnes pads that are much thicker. It's just kind of these tubes of air that go all the way down, and you know, everybody was kind of raving about them as they came out, as far as the comfort level goes and everything like that. It had like a little hand pump system in it, which personally I didn't like. I thought it was kind of a pain in the butt to use. Usually ended up inflating it manually anyway, so I purchased it, and it wore out almost immediately. Actually, that was my upgrade to my Thermarest before it physically gave out, and they both kind of went at the same time. I think it was maybe a winter camping trip that did them both in with the pinholes, but you know, I went to use it one evening as I was camping, and I woke up in the middle of the night with my butt sagging on the ground. And when I went to go try and figure out where the holes were, it was just a mass of bubbles coming up. So it really wasn't my favorite in the world. It was kind of comfortable, I guess, but not so much more comfortable that I really wanted to go there again. I'm bigger. I'm 6'5", and about 300 pounds at this point. So for me, sleeping pads are just a degree of how uncomfortable I am. They're never great. They're never super comfortable. They might start out comfortable, but if I lay in a position long enough, I'm going to wake up, you know, with the numb hand, flip over, wake up later with the numb hand, flip onto my back, numb hips, something like that. So it's just I've essentially gone to hammock sleeping as far as comfort goes, and not having the most ideal setup for hammock sleeping at the moment. I'm kind of in the process of upgrading everything. When I do a lot of cold camping, I don't necessarily have the kit that I need to keep myself warm all the way through the night. It's got to be kind of a certain temperature or above for me to really sleep comfortably. So I've along the way kind of purchased some other things that I like or dislike for various reasons. And after that initial Thermarest, what I was looking for basically was something, I was trying to replace what I had. For a while, my brother had lent me a short version, and by short I mean maybe like 4 feet, 3.5 feet long, something like that. Thermarest pad that I used for canoeing, for backpacking and things like that, and I really liked that. It was not the most comfortable thing in the world, but it was easy. It was quick to inflate, quick to deflate. Packed away a little smaller. I used that on a couple of hiking trips, use it on canoe trips and everything, and you know, you just kind of throw your backpack or some extra equipment, life jackets, stuff like that, just under your feet to kind of extend it a little while, and that worked really well. And again, using that, always being like just not the most comfortable at night, I wanted to try and upgrade. So I went back to the big Agnes, just thinking that I would be much more careful with it this time, making sure ground cloths were laid down, making sure I was just careful with it. And I picked this one up on the website The Climb. It's kind of a discount camping gear thing. It popped up. It was really, really cheap. I think I only paid $30 for this. And it actually packs smaller than this. It packs down probably to about this size, maybe a little smaller. Thought I'd give it a try again. This, it has a big brass valve on it. Again, I'm pretty sure, you know, it's kind of a clearance website, so I'm sure they're getting rid of these for a reason. So that's a little heavier than you like. It takes forever to blow up and to deflate. It is pretty comfortable. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world. I don't necessarily just sleep the night through in it. I do wake up with kind of the numb spots where I have to kind of flip body positions and things like that. But it just took so long to inflate and deflate that I kind of hate it. So wasn't gonna work. I knew it was too long. This is an extra long, extra wide. I kind of knew that going in. I was gonna just use it as car camping. But I even kind of hate it for that because it does take so long to deflate. That's kind of my big pet peeve. That is kind of the big Agnes one. Another one I had, I don't even know where or when or why I picked this up, but it's a Mountain Hardware kind of roll, and it unclips. I think what this is, I think why I got this initially is it's a sleeping pad, but it also doubles as kind of a camp chair. There's a little, it's got just like kind of that egg foam roll, egg crate kind of foam on the inside of it. And if you unzip the top here, there's a little compartment with these poles in it. And they go together just like your tent pole does. And then you thread these in the little receptacles on the pad. Like so. Like this, and you buckle these sides together, and that gives you your support. So you've got a semi-supportive chair to kind of lean back into at camp. It's mildly comfortable, especially if you can double this under and have a little more cushioning if you want. Lay it over a rock, do that kind of a lounge chair. It's okay. I kind of like it for certain aspects of camping. And like I bring it winter camping a lot as just kind of an extra insulation layer. It works really well as an insulation layer. Use it by throwing it in the hammock. Works pretty well for that. So the insulation is there. Comfort, it's okay. It's not the best. But I hang on to it because it does have that dual function. If somebody needs a camp chair, usually I have a Crazy Creek chair that I use on canoe trips. Somebody else wants to pack this thing around, I'll usually lend it to them, and then they can have something to sit on if they don't have anything better. So those are kind of those. And again, like I've mentioned a couple times, is ease of deflation. How quickly I can pack everything up and put it away is a big one. So I went with this thing. This is the Thermarest Z-Lite. I've read some people that really like this. It's light, weighs very, very little. I kind of hold it together. This is just a little Velcro strap. And folds out, packs up. It's really easy. It's not very thin. It's not very comfortable. I have slept on it. And it wasn't the worst thing in the world. I slept surprisingly well as far as how thin it is. I was kind of not expecting it to be comfortable at all. But I just wanted to test it out. And it works okay. If you're in a pinch, this is good. If you're in a place that you don't have ground cover and you want to just sleep on the ground, this is okay for that. It's pretty narrow. I would like something a little wider. My shoulders hang off the sides of it, or pretty close to the sides of it, especially if I'm laying at an angle or anything like that. It's okay. It's something worth hanging on to. Again, I've put it in a hammock before, used it as an insulation layer. And it's not the best thing in the world, but it's really light. You can attach this to the outside of the pack really easily. You've seen these attached a bunch of ways on packs, on the top, on the bottom, on the sides, on the back. So it's not too bad. I don't dislike it, but it's not my favorite. So I finally came in on the REI Airrail 1.5. I just purchased this. I haven't used this I purchased it over the winter, haven't really used it yet. It's held together by a little Velcro pack. Now you saw how it packs down. It packs down, that's the only thing I've tested on, is how easily I could get it back into the bag. And I got it back down there really easily. What I really like on this are these little wings on the outside. So, what I like for that, obviously, that gives it a little extra width for me to kind of lay on, so I'm not hanging off the sides of it. But when I put it in a hammock, it has these wings that will kind of wrap up around me. And when I'm in the hammock, that's kind of the thing. Shoulders and hips get a little cold because they're hanging off the sides of the insulation. And this gives it that little wraparound effect that I kind of have been looking for as far as insulation goes. Now, I just got a quilt that I can use as an underquilt, so that actually takes away kind of some of the need for this. But if I do use this, it can increase the temperature, or I should say decrease the temperature I can go down to by adding a little extra layer there. And by using this, I can also use that underquilt as a top quilt to kind of just give me a little more versatility in my hammock setup. So those have been my sleeping pads. And like I said, my biggest complaint is when something's really hard to pack back up and put away. If I can't quickly deflate it, get it back in the stuff sack and get it packed away, you know, it's kind of, it's not worth whatever benefits there may be along with it. So what it's come down to is this one, and it's fairly lightweight. I don't know the exact dimensions because for me the comfort was first and foremost before worrying about what the weight was. That's something the rest of my stuff is light enough that I could maybe sacrifice a little bit of weight for comfort on this. And so this, yeah, the Airrail 1.5, that's my latest go-to. I'm looking forward to getting out and testing it here in the near future and seeing how it works. You know, as far as testing it out, laying on the floor in front of the TV, it's been pretty comfortable. And you know, it's been really comfortable, and I'm really looking forward to getting out there and using it. So again, hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you later.